Hi everyone and welcome to my place. In continuing the wedding series of how to make your own bouquets, I want to share how to make a loose informal bouquet just using some beautiful artificial proteas, which I absolutely love and adore. They're not so heavy. I want to make it a little bit raw and organic by bringing in some berries. I've got some gorgeous spiral bound eucalyptus here, and I've got this lovely silver dollar. I've got some lovely lavender, which is going to be fantastic, and using the artificial is fabulous because it's a really decent size and it doesn't get the wilt on, because trust me, it will get the wilt on. I've got some lovely hypericum berries, which I think will be gorgeous, and ta-da! Here in the southern hemisphere at almost the end of January, my gypsophila that I grew in pots or big urns actually did grow in big pots and urns. This is the first one I planted, and it's got that lovely rusticy sort of, it's not dried off yet, but it's getting to be dried off, so it's going to be fabulous to be incorporating with these beautiful proteas. Okay, to begin. Now, to get a little bit of movement in, I'm going to use these lovely twisty willow stems. You could use fruit branches if you wanted to, but this will just give me my movement, and that's going to establish a really lovely framework in which to use. Right, beginning with, I'm going to put the white protea into the middle. I'm going to bring the, oh, who didn't take those off? What have I told you before, Astar? Take them off before you start, for goodness sake. So one into the middle, the red can go there, and I've got one pink mink, which I'm going to put up and into the center. Now I'm trying to put these so that they're at different heights and lengths. If you want them a little bit higher, you can just do that as you go. Now I've got two greens, so I'm going to bring a green into there, holding everything in your hand as you go, and it's best to get all of your materials laid out before you begin, because once you start, you can't let it go, because they'll lose their space and their place in the queue or the bouquet. Like one can go over to there, and I'll bring that over to there. And what's really lovely with bringing in these three colors is the pink and the red is reflected through to here. There's a little bit of pink on the pink king protea, which comes into here, and then bringing the green to there and the green to that side actually gives you some nice balance. Now as you go, just make sure that all of your stems are nice and straight, because that's going to be your handle in which you're working. Now I've got a lovely rosehip. I'm just going to put that there over to that side. And what's really lovely about these loose informal handheld posies is, or bouquets, is a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just throw it all in, it doesn't matter. Now with the gypsophila, I'm just going to get a bit of that out, and I'm just going to bring a bit of that. Oh, look at that, look how fabulous that looks just by bringing that into there. Now I've got two bits of that, so I'll have a bit over to there, and I'm going to bring another bit into there just to make it nice and fluffy. And the gypsophila, or the baby's breath, actually lightens up and deflects, and just a beautiful lightening of the heaviness of what's happening with the proteas. Right, a little bit of eucalyptus, that can go into there. I've got a bit there. Let's bring a bit over to there, straightening your stems as you go. And do I want another bit in there? Actually, I'm thinking I might like a bit of that over to there. Now make sure that all of those are nice and straight. Now the other thing I need to just warn you about, the bigger the forms of the flowers, the bigger the stems, the thicker they are. And if you've got a big giant hand, you'll be fine, but if you don't, you're going to have to start culling a bit of weight and thinking, do I go any further or do I just stop there? Personally, I think we could just stop right there, but if you did want to use some of the hypericum berries, which I think are just really beautiful, these can just be, now when you go to put these into here, what you have to do is you sort of have to just release it just a little bit so that you can get those to go down and in through the other stems. Now I've got two bits of that, so I've got a bit over there, and I just think I'd like a piece to go over to there like so that we're nice and balanced, or thereabout. And in doing that, I'm now thinking to myself, you know what, I just think I want another piece over there. If you wanted to use the lavender, of which I'd be very, very hesitant at this stage, that could go over to there, and this could go over to there, and there you have a beautiful finished bouquet. You could add some of this if you wanted to into there to give another texture. Tell you what, it's getting really, really big, so be very, very careful. In fact, whoever's going to carry this is going to have 2 hands to carry it. But I have seen these bouquets and they are very popular, and I thought to myself, well, you might as well just talk about it, Astar. You might as well put it together, and you might as well just share the wee pitfalls of lots of forms together. Now, if you find that everything's sort of starting to fall out, it's because your hand's not big enough and you've got too much into it. You're also going to have to make sure that the cable tie you use to hold these together is big enough to go around there. And when you do this, you just be very careful. Now, issue, it's not big enough. Now, while I'm here, I will show you what happens when you let it down, because people never believe me. So if you're in this wee journey of how to make your own bouquets with me, you might have to extend those, which means that when you put this around here, you might not have all of those forms the way that you wanted them. But I think myself, I saved myself. But isn't that just beautiful? Now, with your stems, just make sure that all of the foliage that's below the level here, you're just going to have to strip all of that up, and then put your 2 hands together for something like this. I would actually make the stems all a little bit longer and cut those all at the same length. Now, by doing that, it means that the bride can carry her bouquet with it over her arm, and it's going to be so much easier to carry. And then when she does get her photographs taken, she can use 2 hands to hold it. I hope you've enjoyed that, because I have enjoyed doing this. Have a look at some of the other examples I've already got on the channel on how to finish off your bouquets. I would love this tied with some lovely jute. Beautiful. That's it, and I will see you all again another day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.